When Frank Sullivan became Detroit's most trusted auto mechanic, customers relied on him to keep their cars running safely. But when his opioid addiction and insurance fraud consumed him, he began sabotaging brakes and rigging fatal accidents, turning routine repairs into deadly traps for unsuspecting drivers. Before starting the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Now, let's get back to the video. The harsh Michigan winter wind howled through the streets of Detroit as Frank Sullivan wiped grease from his hands and prepared his tools for what would become the most dangerous automotive repair of his 26-year career as the city's most respected independent mechanic and automotive specialist. At 54 years old, Frank had established himself as Detroit's premier auto repair professional, specializing in classic car restoration and high-performance vehicle maintenance that attracted wealthy collectors, automotive enthusiasts, and prominent business leaders who valued his expertise in working with rare and expensive automobiles that required specialized knowledge and absolute precision. Frank's auto repair shop occupied a converted warehouse in Detroit's historic Corktown district, featuring state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment, specialized tools for working on luxury and vintage vehicles, and a climate-controlled storage facility where clients' prized automobiles could be safely maintained between service appointments. His customer base included automotive executives who trusted him with prototype vehicles, celebrities who required discreet service for their exotic car collections, and wealthy retirees whose classic automobiles represented substantial investments that demanded the highest level of professional care and expertise. The interior of Frank's shop reflected his mastery of automotive technology and his understanding of car enthusiasts' passion for mechanical perfection, featuring walls lined with vintage automotive memorabilia, advanced computer diagnostic systems, and custom-built work bays equipped with hydraulic lifts and specialized equipment for handling the most challenging automotive repairs. His credentials included certifications from major automotive manufacturers, awards from classic car organizations, and testimonials from grateful customers whose vehicles had been restored to better-than-factory condition through his meticulous craftsmanship. But beneath Frank's reputation for automotive excellence lay a dangerous combination of prescription opioid addiction, systematic insurance fraud, and calculated murder that had transformed his repair shop into a death trap where threatening customers and suspicious investigators met their fate through sabotaged vehicles and staged accidents. "Good morning, Frank," said William Harrison, his 10 o'clock appointment, and a 68-year-old automotive industry executive whose collection of vintage Mustangs required specialized maintenance and restoration work that only Frank possessed the expertise to perform properly. William was worth approximately $15 million from his successful automotive supply company and had been Frank's client for over 7 years, trusting him not only with vehicle maintenance, but also with detailed knowledge of his driving habits and travel schedules that made him vulnerable to targeted attacks. "Good morning, Mr. Harrison," Frank replied with the mechanical competence and automotive authority that had made him legendary among Detroit's car enthusiast community, who viewed him as both craftsman and guardian of automotive heritage capable of preserving and enhancing the performance of irreplaceable classic vehicles. "I've completed the brake system overhaul on your 1967 Shelby GT 500, and I need to perform some final safety checks before you take it out for your weekend drive." This restoration required some specialized modifications to ensure optimal performance and safety. William had become Frank's most dangerous customer, not because of his demanding restoration requirements or his valuable car collection, but because of his recent discovery of suspicious modifications to his vehicle's safety systems and his growing awareness of Frank's systematic sabotage activities that threatened to expose his insurance fraud and murder operation. What William didn't know was that Frank had been systematically murdering customers through vehicle sabotage for over 3 years, using his mechanical expertise and access to customers' automobiles to stage fatal accidents while collecting insurance payouts and inheritance money. Frank's transformation from skilled mechanic to calculating killer had begun 5 years earlier, when his prescription opioid addiction had escalated from legitimate pain management following a workplace injury to daily dependency on fentanyl and other powerful narcotics that he obtained through illegal sources. His drug habit had grown to consume over $4,000 per week, while his gambling losses at underground poker games had accumulated to over $300,000, with organized crime figures demanding immediate payment and threatening violence against his family. Faced with impossible financial demands and credible threats of violence, Frank had begun using his automotive expertise to stage accidents that would generate insurance payouts while eliminating potential witnesses to his criminal activities. His first victim had been a wealthy business executive whose brakes Frank had deliberately sabotaged, causing a fatal collision that had appeared to be a tragic mechanical failure rather than deliberate murder. The success of his first murder had convinced Frank that eliminating threatening customers and suspicious investigators was both profitable and virtually undetectable when executed by someone with his mechanical knowledge and legitimate access to victims' vehicles during routine maintenance appointments. Over the following 3 years, Frank had murdered 12 additional individuals using various automotive sabotage methods that took advantage of his expertise in vehicle systems, his knowledge of accident reconstruction, and his victims' trust in his professional competence and safety procedures. His victims had included Dr. Patricia Williams, a forensic investigator who had been examining suspicious accident patterns and whose steering system had been deliberately compromised during routine maintenance. Jennifer Martinez, a wealthy socialite whose airbag system had been disabled before a planned highway trip. And David Foster, an insurance investigator who had been tracking fraudulent accident claims and whose fuel system had been rigged to cause an explosive crash during routine driving. Each murder had been carefully planned to appear as a tragic mechanical failure that occurred during normal vehicle operation, with Frank positioning himself as the shocked mechanic who had performed routine maintenance and could not explain the unexpected mechanical problems that had led to fatal accidents. "Frank, I need to discuss some serious concerns about suspicious vehicle accidents and reports of insurance fraud connected to your auto repair business," said Detective Sarah Martinez of the Detroit Police Department's Auto Theft and Fraud Division, as she entered the shop carrying a warrant to inspect Frank's equipment and interview him about suspicious activities. Detective Martinez specialized in investigating automotive crimes and had developed expertise in recognizing patterns of vehicle sabotage and insurance fraud that exploited legitimate repair services. Detective Martinez's investigation represented an existential threat to Frank's criminal operation, as her law enforcement expertise and access to accident reconstruction resources could expose the systematic vehicle sabotage and connect him to multiple suspicious deaths. "Of course, Detective Martinez," Frank replied, though he felt the familiar surge of panic and rage that accompanied any official scrutiny of his automotive repair activities by law enforcement officers who possessed the training and resources to detect evidence of systematic sabotage and insurance fraud disguised as legitimate mechanical failures. "Vehicle safety is always my highest priority, and I want to cooperate with any investigation that might help protect drivers from mechanical problems or criminal activities that could endanger public safety." Detective Martinez consulted detailed accident reconstruction reports and insurance fraud investigations that showed patterns of mechanical failures and suspicious accident timing that suggested systematic sabotage rather than random mechanical problems or driver error. Frank, I've been investigating a series of suspicious vehicle accidents involving cars that had recently received maintenance at your repair shop, Detective Martinez said, with the investigative precision that had made her successful in solving complex automotive crime cases. 12 individuals who were customers of your auto repair business have died in vehicle accidents that show evidence of deliberate mechanical sabotage, with several of these accidents occurring immediately after the victims had expressed concerns about vehicle performance or had requested second opinions about repair work you had performed. The detective's identification of the sabotage patterns and her recognition of the timing correlation between maintenance appointments and fatal accidents confirmed Frank's worst fears that his criminal activities had been analyzed and connected to his systematic elimination of customers and potential witnesses who threatened his insurance fraud operation. Frank's response was swift and deadly. as he realized that eliminating Detective Martinez was essential for protecting his criminal enterprise and preventing exposure of his systematic vehicle sabotage and murder spree. Detective Martinez, I think there may be some misunderstanding about the inherent risks of operating vintage and high-performance vehicles that can experience unexpected mechanical failures despite proper maintenance, Frank said, while discreetly reaching for a hydraulic jack handle that he had modified to inject compressed air directly into the bloodstream, causing fatal air embolism. Perhaps we could examine some specific vehicles in my service bay, where I can demonstrate the maintenance procedures that might explain these tragic accidents. Classic automobiles often have complex mechanical systems that can fail unpredictably, even with expert care and regular maintenance. Detective Martinez agreed to examine Frank's maintenance procedures, not realizing that the mechanic was leading her to an isolated work bay where previous murders had been committed and where Frank planned to kill her using his modified tool that would deliver a fatal air injection while appearing to be an accidental contact with pneumatic equipment. Frank's plan involved convincing Detective Martinez to examine specific vehicle systems while explaining maintenance procedures, then using his modified jack handle to inject compressed air directly into her bloodstream, causing immediate air embolism that would appear to be an industrial accident rather than deliberate murder. But Frank's carefully planned murder of the detective was about to be prevented by the unexpected arrival of federal agents who had been investigating insurance fraud networks and had identified connections to his auto repair business. Special Agent Jennifer Walsh of the FBI's Insurance Fraud Division had been conducting a comprehensive investigation into systematic insurance fraud operations that used legitimate auto repair businesses to stage accidents and manipulate vehicle safety systems for financial gain. Agent Walsh specialized in investigating insurance fraud schemes and had developed expertise in tracking criminal networks that exploited automotive repair services to commit systematic fraud and murder. The federal investigation had been initiated by reports from multiple insurance companies and automotive safety organizations who had noticed unusual patterns of accident claims and mechanical failures that suggested organized criminal activity involving legitimate repair services and fraudulent accident staging. Agent Walsh had been conducting surveillance of Frank's operations and had documented evidence of systematic vehicle sabotage, insurance fraud, and suspicious patterns of customer deaths that suggested his automotive expertise was being used for organized criminal activity rather than legitimate vehicle maintenance. "Frank Sullivan, I'm Special Agent Walsh with the FBI," she announced as she entered the service bay, where Frank was preparing to murder Detective Martinez. "I have federal warrants for your arrest on charges of insurance fraud, conspiracy to commit murder, and multiple counts of first-degree murder related to your systematic sabotage of customer vehicles and elimination of potential witnesses to your criminal activities." Frank's reaction to the federal agent's intervention was a combination of mechanical fury and desperate attempts to maintain his automotive authority as he realized that law enforcement agencies at multiple levels had been investigating his insurance fraud activities and had connected them to systematic customer murders. His carefully maintained reputation as a skilled mechanic had failed to protect him from comprehensive investigation by agencies with expertise in insurance fraud and automotive crimes. Special Agent Walsh, there must be some serious misunderstanding about legitimate automotive repair practices and the unfortunate reality that mechanical systems can fail unexpectedly despite proper maintenance and safety procedures, Frank said frantically, while abandoning his plan to murder Detective Martinez and attempting to preserve some semblance of professional credibility, despite the overwhelming evidence against his criminal activities. "I am a certified automotive technician with 26 years of experience providing quality repair services to Detroit's automotive community. All of my repair work follows established safety standards and manufacturer specifications designed to ensure vehicle reliability and driver safety." Detective Martinez looked absolutely stunned as she realized how close she had come to being murdered by the mechanic she had been investigating for automotive fraud. Her insurance fraud investigation had not only exposed Frank's systematic vehicle sabotage and murder operation, but it also prevented her own death at the hands of a killer who had been using automotive maintenance as cover for systematic elimination of customers and law enforcement threats. The comprehensive investigation that followed Frank's arrest revealed the full scope of his criminal enterprise and the sophisticated methods he had developed to exploit automotive expertise for systematic insurance fraud and murder. Forensic analysis of Frank's repair shop revealed extensive evidence of his sabotage operations, including modified tools for compromising vehicle safety systems, detailed records showing coordination between maintenance appointments and insurance claims, and specialized equipment for creating mechanical failures that would appear to be accidents rather than deliberate sabotage. His computer systems contained sophisticated software for tracking insurance payouts and detailed profiles of customers who had been targeted for vehicle sabotage and murder. The investigation also uncovered Frank's connections to organized crime figures who had been using his repair shop to launder money and eliminate potential witnesses to their criminal activities. His network included corrupt insurance adjusters who had facilitated fraudulent claims and dishonest accident reconstruction specialists who had helped cover up evidence of deliberate sabotage. Most disturbing was the discovery of Frank's detailed research into automotive safety systems and accident reconstruction, which he had used to develop increasingly sophisticated methods for sabotaging vehicles while ensuring that evidence of deliberate tampering would be destroyed in the resulting accidents. Frank Sullivan was ultimately convicted of 13 counts of first-degree murder, systematic insurance fraud, conspiracy to commit organized criminal enterprise activities, and numerous other charges related to his exploitation of automotive repair services for vehicle sabotage and elimination of potential witnesses. The conviction sent unprecedented shockwaves throughout Detroit's automotive repair community, prompting immediate reforms in mechanic licensing, vehicle safety oversight, and insurance fraud prevention measures designed to protect drivers from exploitation by trusted automotive professionals. Several other auto repair shops and mechanics were investigated for similar criminal activities, resulting in enhanced oversight of automotive repair services and new requirements for safety documentation and ongoing monitoring that made it more difficult for criminals to exploit vehicle maintenance for systematic sabotage and murder. Detective Martinez and Special Agent Walsh received recognition for their collaborative investigation and became specialists in automotive crime investigation, developing new techniques for identifying vehicle sabotage operations and protecting consumers from exploitation by criminal automotive professionals. William Harrison and other surviving customers required extensive vehicle inspections and psychological counseling to overcome the trauma of learning that their trusted mechanic had been systematically sabotaging their vehicles while planning to murder customers who discovered his criminal activities. The automotive repair industry implemented comprehensive new safety protocols designed to protect customers from exploitation by unethical mechanics. The case prompted comprehensive changes in automotive repair regulation, including mandatory background checks for all automotive technicians, enhanced oversight of repair documentation, real-time monitoring of safety system modifications, and new reporting procedures for suspicious repair activities involving vehicle safety systems. Frank's conviction also led to increased cooperation between automotive repair licensing boards and law enforcement agencies investigating insurance fraud, with new protocols designed to identify mechanics who might be exploiting their vehicle access for systematic sabotage while eliminating potential witnesses to their criminal activities. The automotive repair and broader transportation industries implemented revolutionary new safety measures, including enhanced security protocols for vehicle maintenance, comprehensive customer protection programs, mandatory reporting of suspicious repair activities, and improved training for recognizing signs of vehicle sabotage and criminal exploitation in automotive service settings. 5 years after Frank's conviction and life imprisonment, Detroit's automotive repair community continued to implement safeguards designed to protect customers from mechanics who might abuse their positions of trust and vehicle access for criminal purposes. The mechanic who had promised to keep vehicles running safely and reliably had instead used his automotive expertise and customer trust to commit systematic vehicle sabotage and murder, while turning routine maintenance into deadly traps for unsuspecting drivers. However, his crimes had been thoroughly exposed, and his victims had found justice through the dedication of investigators who refused to accept suspicious accidents as mere mechanical failures. Frank Sullivan's final repair had fixed his own fate, as he faced life imprisonment without possibility of parole, proving that even automotive professionals who attempted to exploit their mechanical expertise for criminal gain could be identified, investigated, and brought to justice when dedicated law enforcement agencies worked together to protect innocent drivers from predatory service providers. The mechanic's final repair had permanently disabled his criminal enterprise, serving as a lasting reminder that those entrusted with vehicle safety must never abuse that trust, and that automotive professionals who would sabotage the very vehicles they promised to maintain will ultimately face the full consequences of their betrayal of professional integrity and public safety. Thank you very much for listening. Please let us know what you think of this story in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any other videos.